Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Need to Nerd podcast. I'm your host, Heezy, and I'm joined by my co-host, a man that shaved his stash and is going on No Shave November, Paddy B.
Hello, Spencer. Big Heezy. How are you?
Big Heezy. Man, nobody's called me Big Heezy in a while.
It is about your amazing personality.
Oh, yeah, it couldn't possibly be the flap on my arms jiggling.
No, not at all.
Let's dive in. This week we're just doing our normal old Our Need to Nerd episode where we talk about all the nerdy stuff that, we care about, the things that we want to talk about. And this week, we got some fun ones. Before we do that, we're going to give you the nerd fact of the week. And I'm gonna go a little different this time. A couple, I don't know, it's been months ago on the show. This podcast was really excited about something, and it's kind of more like an update instead of a nerd fact. But we actually did get a YouTube comment about this, and I want to clear it up for people who don't know. So people are like, when are you going to review Advanced Wars on the Switch so that I can decide if I want to buy it? And I hate to be the one to break it to this person, but Advanced Wars is actually indefinitely delayed. So for those who don't know, Advanced Wars is a classic Game Boy Advance game. Paddy B, I highly recommend you download and play it legally in any way that you can. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. It's a tactical battle game. It's really fun, but it's actually kind of based on Russia attacking other countries.
Oh.
And so at this time they're electing not to release the game.
Makes sense.
So the nerd fact of the week here is don't make video games about real world implications. Just a fun one for everybody. Let's go to our Need to Nerd segment. It is November, so November 22nd. If you're watching this in the future, maybe some of the stuff is relevant to you. Maybe you're like, oh man, I need to go back and watch some of the stuff, or play some of the stuff, or read some of the stuff. But we're going to talk about the nerdy things that we're nerding out on right now. I'm going to go first. Mine's pretty easy. Last month, the new season of My Hero Academia dropped. I've been super busy. I'm actually behind on it, but man, am I enjoying it, Paddy B. There is very few shows that I get as hyped about as My Hero Academia, and this season, it starts out just banger after banger after banger. The thing that I love so much about this new season and why I'm nerding out about it so much is that we're getting really close to what should be close to the end of the manga. We know the manga is going to end within the next year or so, and this show does quite a few chapters of the manga per episode. And just kind of seeing the reactions of my friends who are reading the manga with my reactions watching the show, and they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they really did that. I didn't think they were going to do it this fast. It's really cool to kind of see the fandoms converge and also both be really happy. And it's also cool to see a lot of people that maybe were disenfranchised with the last season get more into it this season again. My Hero is one of those animes that has people with varying opinions. A lot of people think it's the best starter anime of all time. If you're going to get into anime, this is the perfect one to do it. A lot of people who, I will just say it, gatekeep, are like, oh no, I hate My Hero fans. They're not real anime fans. They just like My Hero. And, I think that one of the coolest things that My Hero has done, similar to Naruto in a lot of ways, is really introduce a whole new group of people into anime. It's a really cool shonen that has relatable characters, a lot of characters to like, a lot of characters to identify with, and kind of seeing this culmination of what has been happening in the anime for 6 years now is really cool to watch.
Awesome.
A couple other things. Get to start the new Dragon Prince season with the wife tonight. I believe it came out 2 weeks ago on Netflix. That's a show that we watched together, and I'm really excited to watch it with her. This show is, for those who know, is by the same people who did Avatar: The Last Airbender. We've actually done all of the seasons of Avatar and Legends of Korra on this show, so go back and watch those. But we're also going to be starting the Dragon Prince. Are we not? Are we?
Yeah, we are. Yeah. So
How are we gonna do that? You haven't seen it.
I that is my plan here in the next couple weeks is to watch the first season, and we'll do a season 1 review. I think it's going to be a thing kind of moving forward a little bit here. Spencer's going to be my, like how folks have like rave daddies, rave mommies, right? He's going to be my anime
It's not anime.
sensei. It's like the first
It's anime
baby steps.
It's like anime adjacent.
Anime light.
It's an anime adjacent, maybe.
Yeah.
So Dragon Prince is gonna be a fun one for Patty B. It's like it has the things that we all like about like Avatar: The Last Airbender. You'll have a lot of fun. But yeah, well, awesome. Starting next year, we'll start reviewing, Dragon Prince seasons. So
perfect. So I'm gonna do this next thing here.
Oh, okay.
Now we I didn't plan or prepare sufficiently for this. When I won an RCQ, we had a champagne toast on our thing, and so I feel really horrible that I'm announcing that Spencer won an RCQ in Magic the Gathering.
Cheers, buddy.
We don't really have cheers. I have a monster.
I have a not appropriate for YouTube.
Yes.
Cheers.
Slide there. But yeah, tell us about your RCQ win. Congrats, buddy.
Yeah, sure. Well, thank you. So for Utah had 3 RCQs in one weekend, and I was debating which one to go to. There was, I think it was Sealed Pioneer and Modern, if I'm not mistaken. And my friend Quentin, former host of Constructor Criticism, wanted me to go to the Modern one with him. I was like, okay, well, here are the decks I'm willing to play. He's like, okay, I'm playing this deck. You're cool with this deck. And on my other podcast, Constructor Criticism, the week before, we had done an episode on a Modern deep dive. And on that episode, I was like, hey, this creativity deck actually looks like it plays a lot like Team Escape Shift. Actually, like, my favorite Modern deck of all time. And they're like, yeah, it kind of does. And I was like, okay. And then Matt Kling had said that to me. He's another friend of ours, former host of CC, and like, I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, look, I'll just leave this exact list that just won the energy up. 0 reps total with the deck before I sat down, and yeah, it played exactly how I thought it would play. There were some really cool moments that I'll get to talk about on CC around that are more in depth of the thing, but it's right after Yorion got banned, I think that people didn't really know where to go in Modern. So the decks that I was willing to play were kind of like these 2 controlling decks, one of them being a combo control deck, one of them being like a mid-rangey control deck. And I don't know, Magic's just got in this really cool place where I've played enough of it that I felt really comfortable picking up a deck with 0 reps that I thought would fit my playstyle really well. Yeah, it was fun. I think that 5-color creativity is really strong. I think that, I beat a variety of other strategies to make that far. I unfortunately had to beat one of our teammates twice on a matchup that was really bad for him, but it was really fun. I'm excited to go to San Diego with Patty and his wife.
We were thinking it was going to be Anaheim, so we started having these machinations of doing like a Disney trip.
Oh, Devonair's still doing the Disney trip. It's only 90 minutes. Cool. It's only 90 minutes away, she says.
That's fair.
So, but yeah, it should be fun to go to. For those who don't know, these tournaments qualify you for Dream Hacks, give you the free pass, stuff like that. I already actually got my email from MTG Melee letting me know that I'd be getting a Dream Hack pass and all of that stuff. It's really cool to kind of be able to sit down and I mean, we're doing this episode on a Saturday when normally, we both might be RCQing on a Saturday. So it's cool to kind of have this out of the way and get to, do more things right now.
Yeah, I'm super excited to go on this trip and really dive into Standard again, right? That was the format for this event, so
yeah, it'll be sweet. What about you, Patty B? What are you nerding out about right now?
So I am nerding out about Titans. Titans new season is back. That's something that we got HBO Max at some point and just like fell upon it. I loved watching Teen Titans as a young adult, or, teenager, and yeah, so watching this one it's been a really fun show to watch with my wife. A lot of the stuff that I'm learning about is coming up here in the nerd news. I'm having a good time for what I've spent at our Magic event here in Salt Lake this weekend. But I have different you know ideas of fun, or it's a little different for me. So yeah, just working hard right now and watching some nerd stuff when I can.
I gotta ask, have you seen the new Titans, like, I think it's like Arkham Knight video game,
Oh
but
yeah,
it's Titans?
yeah, Gotham Knights.
Are you gonna play that?
I would, because I have played all the Arkham games, right? The Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, right? It's in the same style of that. It's like the sequel to that series. But I think it's only on next gen consoles, so I have to figure out how to.
Is it not on Xbox One?
It's not. It's not on Xbox One, for what I understand. I think it's on X. So
is it worth me buying?
Have you played those other games before?
No, but they're on Game Pass.
Yeah. Play Arkham City. See if you like.
Is that the first one?
Arkham Asylum is the first one, but I think Arkham City is one of the best ones.
Okay. Cool.
So,
well, what is kind of next in your need to nerd that you want to fulfill? You're talking about the things that you're doing now, but like, what's kind of on the horizons for Paddy B?
On the horizons, like we mentioned about Dragon Prince, right? I'm going to be starting that, and then I think My Hero is next on the nerd docket. We did finish Stranger Things. That was something that I wanted to do. So
a show
over.
Do all that. Is that the end of that show?
No, there's one. I think there's one more season coming out.
Okay. Cool. Was the last season as good as the internet made it sound?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool. And then actually on Halloween there was a house out in Daybreak that was like popular all over TikTok. And that was fun to kind of do a drive-by of that. I'll post a video of it on Twitter. It was really cool to see.
Awesome.
Yeah.
For me, there's a new Pokemon game coming out this month. I'm pretty excited for it. They took a lot of the things that I liked from the last Pokemon game, Legends Arceus. So kind of excited to see like a lot of the, I don't know, quality of life upgrades enter into mainline Pokemon and kind of see how that plays out. And then I actually want to start reading again, Paddy. I have a couple of books that I'm thinking about purchasing to get myself into it. I've also got some books lying around. I had started reading when I got laid off of my job about 2 years ago. And I just didn't stick with it. But I actually really love reading. I got this nice couch behind me that I could just, lay down on and read, or sit up on and read. And kind of using more of my time for reading and kind of clearing my head and escaping into a book is something that I'm really interested in, going and putting my phone maybe in another room and just doing that. Some of the books I'm thinking about, for those wondering, are Into a Sea of Stars by Christopher Paolini, as he's got another Fractureverse book coming out. Ready Player 2 is a book that I have started that I never finished. And then a couple of Star Wars books as well. I actually am a huge fan of reading. I just don't do it, and I want to get back into it. There's so many things that I think that, while I love audiobooks, there is a time and a place for them, I think. And right now, I just really need to be able to sit down and read some books.
Yeah, I have that time away from the screen.
Yeah.
Right, with ink and paper. I gotcha. No, but if you to Sleep in a Sea of Stars, that's one I think I download the audiobook version of.
I have the audiobook versions too.
Yeah. So if that's something we want to read together,
cool.
That's something we can.
Another one though is actually want to start some of the Brandon Sanderson stuff that we had talked about on this show, and with Wes was a co-host. So that's kind of where my head's at on the next things to fulfill. let's go into some of the nerdy news, and I'll go first. I think that, if you're the age of myself and Patty B, this one was like, oh, that kind of sucks. Like, and that's Kevin Conroy dying. So Batman has officially passed. Rest in power, dude. But I don't know, it's like that one. There's some celebrity deaths like hit me really hard. This one was just like, oh, that sucks. I didn't think like it's one of those that kind of surprises you, where you're like, oh, I didn't expect. Like, how old was he?
He was 66. He had been battling cancer for a little bit.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So really, not very old. And when we talked about like, this Gotham Knights game, right? He's done the voice for Batman for, the animated series, Batman Beyond, a lot of different TV shows and these video games. So it's, yeah, definitely. He's got that. I saw something from Kevin Smith where he was talking about how his voice was confident and calming, or like confronting and calming at the same time, which gave you that. I don't know. I loved Batman the Animated Series growing up.
I
actually, really sad loss.
I think that like Batman Beyond, Batman the Animated Series, like the way that those transitioned into each other, and like his throughput, like his stay through those two series, like there's a lot. And like for what it's worth, like I played a lot of Batman video games or computer games that like he was the voice of Batman in. It's just, I don't know. It was one that just surprised me more than anything. I was like, oh, that's weird. I mean, I think he also did most of Justice League, if I'm not mistaken, too. Like, I don't know. It's like, oh man, that will be weird not to have around. That's just a weird one. After 30 years of voicing a character, you just, I don't know, you just assume they'll be there forever.
Right. It's very familiar to you. And when the first time that we hear, like, it not can be that on a regular basis, that's going to be probably jarring.
Yeah, it really, I mean, I can't, is there another person who, like, I guess, like, Winnie the Pooh? I don't know, I can't, like, think of a character, or a person that's that synonymous with a character, so. So that's the first piece of news. Really sad, rest in power, dude. Like, I don't know, I'll just say this. Oh man, I don't think I was going to tear up, but I could tear up at everything. I remember watching the Batman Begins movie. Is it
like Return of the Joker?
It's the Return of Joker, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if it was the last joke, but the last joke's the rated R one, I think.
Yeah, the Killing Joke. Yeah.
The Killing Joke. That's right. Yeah, the Return of Joker was, I don't know, just like his ability to mesh these two this character that's years apart from each other and do it so well. I just thought he was a great talent, and one that will be, I don't know, really missed.
Yeah.
So kind of an annoying news update, and I am the type of person, delays are good, delays are fine, it means we're going to get a good product. So for those who know, Valheim is one of my 3 favorite video games ever made at this point. Which is really crazy because it's not even finished yet. There are a couple of biomes that are not finished. We've got the Ashlands, the Mistlands, the Arctic, I believe, are the 3 that are not finished. And we're supposed to get the Mistlands this year. And honestly, I think a lot of people expected us to get it during the summer. It didn't happen. Now we're entering close to the winter. It still hasn't happened. And people were upset the whole time. Like, they just feel like this company has taken their money and like they're not going to finish their game now. And I don't think that's true. I think they're going to finish their game. But it is getting to the point where it's like, okay, like just like give us a date. Like, give us a date. And that's, for what's worth, if it's something that works in software, that's not how software works. Like, they probably don't know the date if they're not close enough to know the date yet. But it's hard. It's hard to want this thing so badly and not have a date. I know that, like, they just announced the date for for Tears of the Kingdom for Zelda finally, and it's like, way after people expected, right? It's like May of next year. And I just hope that we don't have that level of delays for a game that they're only making, a single biome for right now. I don't know. I'm just starting to agree with the people that are getting impatient or that have been impatient. I don't know, Patty. Do you have any of these problems with video games that you like, where like they get delayed and like you don't have any answers as to why?
Um, I have not. Normally it's like I haven't been like too attention. Like when it comes out, like I'll see it in store. It's like, oh, that seems cool. I'll play that. So I spare myself a lot of the headache and, and turmoil of waiting for a game. Uh, but just not knowing. Ignorance
Sure,
is bliss.
ignorance is bliss. Speaking of ignorance as being bliss, I want to talk about the most ignorant world champion on just not knowing how to use type advantage at all. The man who uses Pikachu against Charizard to win a world championship. A boy did it! To Ash Ketchum, ladies and gentlemen, the Pokemon World Champion. Spoiler, but like, if you're on the internet, there's just no way this wasn't already spoiled for you. Like, because the internet.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that hasn't happened before.
Yeah. So
This whole time?
yesterday, many people woke up to learn that after 20 years or 25 years, after 25 years, 11-year-old Ash Ketchum is finally the world champion of Pokemon. I posted in our Discord a little clip of his meteoric rise in a lot of ways. The kid goes from a top 16 at Kanto to a top 16 and in the next event, to a top 8, to a top 4, down to a top 8, up to a second place, into a champion, into the world champion. That is the legacy of our boy Ash Ketchum. Hashtag always be improving. Let's go. Honestly, it was really funny. Last night I told Devonair, and she's like freaking out. She's like, really? After 25, now he's the world champion? I was like, yeah, and the last episode is called I'm Glad I Chose You. And she starts crying. She like straight up is like, no, it's not. I was like, yeah, it is. The last episode is called I'm Glad I Chose You. And she is like, no. Like, and I was like, why are you so sad? She's like, that's a sad episode name. I'm like, no, it's a happy one. He and his boy finally did it. And it's funny because like Devonair hasn't cared about Pokemon other than the fact that she has a 5-year-old since she was a little kid. But I think all of us remember that first episode being Pikachu, I Choose You, right? And like all of us have seen it 10 times. All of us have heard the phrase 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 times. And honestly, I think a lot of people are questioning whether this actually is the end of Ash's story, if they're going to get a new anime protagonist finally. And I think the answer is yes. I actually do think Ash and Pikachu are done after, I guess, next week. Probably the end. I know, it's crazy. There was, if you guys get a moment, I won't spoil it, but like the moment where Pikachu, right before Pikachu wins, is really heartwarming, where I'll say this: you get to see every single Pokemon Ash ever caught in one sweeping scene. It's really cute, and I don't know. It was. I've gotten to watch a lot more Pokemon again because of Maxwell. You know, he's watched all of the Alolan. We watched a lot of the Kalos stuff together. Yeah, it's been just, I don't know. Cheers to Ash. What a huge bit of nerdy news. It's the largest franchise of anything that exists in the world. Culminating is just really cool. Yeah. That's it for me. Patty B.
Yeah, so one thing I saw as far as some nerdy news, I know that we got a new trailer for John Wick Chapter 4. Excited about that. I always love Keanu kicking butts. And then also crazy news I saw was with the Witcher, that's a show that Shelby and I have also really loved watching, and watching Henry Cavill as that. I guess he's out as Geralt of Rivia, and Liam Hemsworth is going to be taking the role. What are
Yeah.
your thoughts on that?
So to be clear, the next season will still have
Right,
uh
Geralt,
Carol
and
as Henry Cavill, and then the following
yeah,
season they will begin with Liam Hemsworth.
a lot of people are
I
losing their minds.
I'm not a doomsayer, but I assume that if Henry Cavill, he says he's leaving to start a new, like, to do the Superman franchise, right? I think
Makes
that
sense.
one, it's definitely more money for him to do the Superman franchise, and if they're gonna give him like a 5-film deal where, like, it's Iron Man levels of stuff, like, good for him. I think that Henry Cavill crushes every role that he's in. I hate to be a doomsayer, but I think that if he is leaving a franchise that he loves and wanted the role so badly for, I think it means that the creators did something wrong.
Gotcha.
It's
Yeah,
also
it's kind of expels the doom.
in a lot of ways, and the thing is like like we got another Witcher series announced because of the success of that series. 2 new Witcher video games announced because of the success of this series. Like, I was hoping that Henry Cavill in The Witcher was like the literal next Game of Thrones, but bigger. So I'm pretty sad about the news. I think Liam Hemsworth also is a great actor. I just like, you lose a lot of the passion for the role that I think, and maybe that's not true. Maybe Liam's a huge nerd and like is also a huge Geralt fan. But yeah, I was pretty sad about this one.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be great, right? But it's just sad to see Henry Cavill go. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever came out this weekend. Let's see if we can find some time, maybe tomorrow night after I get off, to go see that.
So cool for you that you get to just go see movies. That's
Well, I mean, I pay for it, right? It's the but children. That makes sense.
Oh, but children, yeah.
Oh, but children. I was like, yeah, no, we have this Regal Unlimited plan that lets us, see any movie anytime, for $18 a month, no ad.
But if you want to sponsor,
if you want to sponsor, please, yeah.
No, I'm like so disenfranchised with the Marvel stuff at this point. Like,
yeah,
I couldn't even finish the Mrs. Marvel. Like, I don't know. I am not in it. So if it's good, let me know. I enjoyed Love and Thunder when we watched that. I hated Doctor Strange, so as the interwebs knows. So let me know if it's good.
Yeah. She-Hulk was pretty good too. I know a lot of people did not like that series, but Shelby and I really enjoyed it. It was a really good time.
Awesome.
I love the fourth wall breaks and stuff. So
cool. We have the next 3 episodes planned, and I like to let the listeners know what those are typically, so that they can kind of prepare, get ready for what could be their next little bit of shows on this podcast. And so our current schedule, next week we're going to be doing Thankful Nerding, so we'll be talking about what we're thankful for this year and all of nerddom. And then we're doing Dragon's Prince Season 1, so make sure you're caught up on that. And then, to the excitement of my wife, we're doing a triple Grinch breakdown, where we will be watching The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, Dr. Seuss's The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, and The Grinch. And breaking down the 3 films, what we love and what we think could be better about the trio. And yes, we are doing it because I'm a Grinch. That is going to do it for this week. If you have any suggestions for topics that you would like us to cover, please leave a comment. Let us know what you think. And yeah, the results of the last Paddy's poll. Let's go to Anchor and see what we got.
And this was House of the Dragon characters?
Yeah, I believe so. Let's see. Sometimes it just depends on how people listen to the episode, so we'll see what the poll got. Oh, the poll got no results. It's 'cause I probably didn't leave it open long enough. I got to leave these open longer.
Sure.
But in the future, we'll repost this one on Twitter and give you an update next time. That is, and just a reminder for those, and I'll even repost it on this episode with a longer thing. So for a reminder, who's your favorite character in House of Dragon Season 1? We got Rhaenyra, Damian, Alicent, and Other. Other is a reply tweet, and I think that we'll get this up on Twitter. Thank you, everybody, so much for listening. You can find me at Spencer in H. You can like, subscribe, follow the show. You can find Paddy at PaddyBMTG, where you can talk to him all about everything you love about anime and why he should watch your favorite anime, and give him too many anime to watch so that he'll hate anime forever, just like, you know, everyone else who ever gets into anime. And yeah, that is going to do it. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you guys all next time with another episode of the Need to Nerd podcast.